Dark mode, underworld order must be maintained. A strict and unforgiving chain of command, chaos in the net. Every time the camera's on, you're riding with me through the storm. From the stories to the struggle, yeah, you've been there all along.
Hey, Gunny, what's going on, brother? Trevor, what's going on, legend? Shout out to the Chaos Crew. Best on YouTube, it's true. Where should I put that? From Port Phillip. Steven Spadotto, what's going on, legend? Commodores. Trevor Smith, what's going on? Chaos Crew, you wear that crown. Best YouTube is true. Oi, what's going on? Paul Jackson from Cessnock. Who else have we got here? Lisa Mason, Little Blue Birdie, MPA, Aussie Gravedigger. What's going on, legends? Alright, so I'm going to turn the music down. I need something. I can't have nothing. There we go. What's going on anyway, legends? Alright, so for anyone that hasn't joined any of my lives before, as you can see, it just went from 29 viewers to 50. But sometimes in these lives, they are a little bit unforgiving. And I say that with a grain of salt because sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But these vertical lives, because I'm on my phone and not on my PC, tend to have more. Well, there you go, it jumped up another 20. But what's going on anyway, legends? Have you watched The Mole? As in, like, the game show. Melinda, what's going on, legend? Matthew Aitken, JGB, Ramp 8G. What is going on, everyone? So I as you guys know, I had my neurologist appointment today, and I was hoping to start my medication today. But as I said, I bet you they're not going to start me on it before having one more MRI, which is exactly the way it went down, like I thought it was going to. And I didn't have my MRI scan done, obviously, but I've got my MRI scan booked in. I didn't start my new medication today, but yeah. Alright, hang on a minute. We're going to fucking change this lighting scenario up here. This is how, like, advanced we are at Big Biff Studios these days. I bought some new lights, right? So these little fuckers here actually put out just as much as these ones. So these are the ones I generally use. I've got two of these. This one's obviously not on. The other one's on. But these little beasts here are just as powerful, which I don't understand it, but these things can put out a maximum of 5,500K, which is something to do with lighting. I don't fucking know. And these ones can put out 6,500, so they can actually put out more. And you know what? I've told you guys 100 times, like, this is so my studio is literally just an office off my bedroom, yeah? So like, yeah, it literally gets like a fucking sauna in here. These are, I'll show you. You know how I try and tell you guys that like they're literally hydroponic lights? Let me show you. It gets fucking hot in here, and now you'll see why, if anyone's ever grown fucking hydroponics. Alright, that is a halogen globe. I'm not saying it's a fucking Santiago, but this is a fucking 1500 watt globe, so it puts out a lot of fucking heat. And then obviously you've got all of the fucking I don't know what you call that, mirror shit, I don't know, fucking silver foil, I don't know. Do you want to know, so I'm going to tell you a funny story, yeah? So I've told you guys how I spent a fair bit of time with Paul Hay, Victoria's worst serial killer. On this particular day, I'm just going to drop this down here. Now, I remember, yeah, because we were like doing we were the people that had the Persian rugs on the yard, yeah. What? Are you even serious right now? How did that even happen? I swear, I've got to my office is actually getting a little bit too packed now. I've bought too much stuff for it, and like, yeah, give me a moment. I'm just going to change the lighting. And yeah, I mean, I guess my point is these little fuckers put out so much less heat than those big ones. I should have a tripod here for it. There it is. Whoa. Ain't no love like a chaos girl. I swear, sometimes, like, companies do things to mess just with me, I swear. I'm sure you all have the same issue. The chaos crew, the realize the truth can never. I knew you were going to do that. Like, look at these dodgy fucking tripods. Bam. Alright, now I'm going to turn that one off. And I'll stop fucking over editing. Yeah! I don't even think we need both of them, if I'm honest. Wait. Let's see how much different the lighting is. Yeah, I think that one's alright. Oi, Duka, watch the little cameo in Blue Healers with True. Oh, there's so much stuff on there. Do you know what actually pisses me off? So, like, on my IMDb file, which is the International Actors Profile, whatever, it really only lists one thing that I'm on, and like Yeah, I was on so much stuff. But yeah, it's good. Do you know what? I literally went 20 years of my life not even talking about me being on TV when I was younger. Because here's the truth. Anytime I ever said to anyone that I used to be on TV, they would just think that I was talking shit. And um, like, yeah, like I really went, my mum's got my actual acting portfolio, right? That's what it's called, which is what we used to give out to all the casting agencies and rah rah rah. And so anyway, I've got so many cool stuff in that. So I've got a letter from Jan Grundy. So I actually auditioned for Lance on Neighbours, right? So Lance was Susan and Carl's son before they nicked off. And anyway, so they were like, that was a massive part. So I auditioned for Lance and I got down to just me and the guy that got the part, right? And so this is a true story. The only reason I didn't get the part, so it doesn't look like I've got red hair, yeah, but I do, yeah. I'm a ranger, and this was the only reason I didn't get that neighbours part. And they were so honest about it. They said we need like at least a brunette or a blonde because obviously Carl and Susan are both brunettes, so we need it to look like we can't have a ranger, you know? And so that was the only reason I didn't get that neighbours part. But here's another true story as well. So my very first audition was for the Royal Shakespeare. And so I actually did, right? I've showed this on lives before, me walking on a catwalk when I'm like 9 years old, yeah? And so I actually did modeling before. So my mum did whatever she could because she knew that I don't know, I had a different talent than other people. But the truth was, it was just ADHD. That was what it was. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I did 2 years of modeling and then I went into acting. And yeah, like my in my book, that's what I was saying. So my first ever audition that I did was for the Royal Shakespeare, which was for Oliver. So that play would have went all around the world, and so they auditioned me in Melbourne. And once again, that was my very, very, very first audition, and I got down to the last two people. And so an audition process works like this, yeah. So generally, you rock up to this big like casting studio, which is like generally where they set up like fake buildings and stuff like that, and there'll be like 200-300 kids there, right? That's what it used to be like for me. And then you'd go for your audition, and then you'd get called back for another audition, and then there'd be like 100 kids, and then they'd call you back again, and then there'd be like 50 kids, and it'd just keep going down like that until they got down to the last people. And that happened to me so much. But like, yeah, Jan Grundy wrote me that. So Jan Grundy is the owner of Channel 10. She is the owner of Neighbours, blah, blah, blah. And she actually thought that I was the best, like she thought that I was going to be the next best actor in Australia. And what was really funny about it is every single part I got as an actor was as a child criminal. And how funny it is that my poor mum got me into that lifestyle to get me away from that lifestyle. And yeah, it was just like, what do you call it? Art imitating art, I suppose. Like, yeah, it's crazy. No shit, my cousin Lara Radulkovic was the screenwriter and then producer of Neighbours. Why didn't you say something? I mean, like, it's not something that I talk about very often because, like, other than, like, recently when I've, like, started sharing links and stuff like that. But I'll tell you something. I'm 43 years old, yeah? So anyone that is 2 years older than me or maybe 3 years younger than me will remember this and remember me being this child on the ad, and you're about to go, no way, right? So remember back when you were at primary school. So at this particular time, I think I was in grade 5, right? So it didn't matter. High schools did the same. I was in grade 4 or grade 5. I think I was 9, right? I was always a year younger than everyone, and then a year younger again because I stayed down twice. So the ad that I did, if you guys remember, there was this thing that Coles did, right? So Coles supermarkets did this thing where they had these special dockets that were orange, right? So put a thumbs up if you guys remember this in the chat. So what you had to do, so your mum and dad, whatever, your family went out and did shopping for whatever, and then they gave their dockets to their children or their whatever, and they took them to school, and then the schools would pile them dockets up, right? And so the more dockets you got, the more Apple Macintosh computers your school got, right? So this was the first time computers were introduced into every single school around Australia, and I was the kid that done the ad, right? And so like the orange dockets, yeah, you had to collect the dockets, you take them into school, your school counts them up, and like your school got X amount of computers compared to how many dockets they raised, right? And so true story, because I was the kid that was on the ad, my school raised most of the dockets in Victoria. But anyway, if you guys remember this ad, right? So I'm going to say the ad. This is exactly what happened on the ad. So I swear to God, studios are so much fun. So I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, the Coles commercial. So anyway, yeah, you had to collect rah rah rah. Anyway, I got the commercial. That was me. But this is how the commercial went, right? So the camera panned to me, right? There was only myself. I was the main character on the ad, and you could see kids in the background sitting at their desks, right? And so in the ad, you could see me drawing tattoos on my arm with a pen, right? And then the teacher comes up to me, and I'll show you because I've got my keyboard down here. And then the teacher comes up to me and does this, right? So I'm drawing tattoos. Remember, chuck a thumbs up if you remember this ad, the more I'm telling. So I'm sitting there drawing tattoos on my arm, and then the teacher comes up. You can't see the teacher, you can only see arms come in with a keyboard, right? With a wire on it, obviously, because this was the 90s. And this was the first Apple Macintosh computer. So, and then I grab the keyboard, and then I go like, oh, like, you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, I'm sitting in front of a screen, and I'm going like, you know, blah, 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 tapping on the screen. I've gone from naughty kid to fucking A-grade student in this ad. And then it said something like, only at Coles supermarkets can you get your children a free computer, blah, 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 blah. And that was me. So I find it very hard to find any fucking evidence of this, but in my portfolio, which my mum owns, I've got everything in there. So everything I did, you know, I was on Jim Owen, Just Jeans ad, Coles commercial, like the Coles ad, Full Frontal, Law of the Land, Fast Forward, Country Practice, Blue Healers, Genie from Down Under, or you know what was actually funny? So this is what's so funny. So sometimes in those I was an extra, yeah, which I didn't give a fucking shit. I was an actor. I was a kid at school where other kids were asking for my autograph. Like, that was the best thing for me. I felt like a fucking superstar, you know? It was absolutely awesome. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I'm not going to lie, yeah? Um, I'm not going to go into why I stopped doing it, but like, so, but funny thing, so when we were doing country practice, right? So I was that country practice episode that you see there, which is, well, episode 14 in the last season, which is season 14, which is called Child's Play or something like that. No, maybe that's the Blue Healers one. But anyway, I was actually in, if you guys take the time out to watch the last of them episodes after that, I was actually in like six a country practice episodes. And like what was cool, like for me, like, because like, you know, like in they show the cast at the end, I used to love it so much that my name was like next to, like, you know, Tom Croydon, Vince Colosimo, country practice, you know, fucking the guy that plays Neville Bartos and fucking Alphonse Gangitano. Like, I'd done acting with that guy when he was very, very young. And what's so funny is he actually was a police officer in a country practice. And then all his other parts. And so, true story, Vince Colosimo's got a bit of a real criminal history. Hey, Biff. Has Biff explained why the screen is wonky? Probably because I'm on my phone. And is that not wonky? Wait, I've got a level on this thing. That's still wonky? That's very wonky. Oi, that looks even wonkier. Oi, fuck the wonky screen. You've acted with a guy that acted with Ethan Hawke. So here's the truth. So that episode that you watched last night of me on a country practice, so that little redheaded girl, who I believe her name was Georgie. She was the baby, you know, she was the doctor's baby, I believe. I think her name was Georgie. I can't remember what her real name was. But anyway, that girl that I'm acting with in that episode went on to be the girl that done one of the Narnias. Like, I think it was like the first one. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. No, that's what the book was called. Something with Narnia. Anyway, she was the girl. So a lot of them people, yeah. So I actually did, when I was on Fast Forward, Full Frontal and Jim Owen, so they're all comedy shows. So I used to meet a lot of the same people all the time. And they used to tell my mum, like, your kid is funny as fuck. Because I've always been ADHD and just, I don't know, like, I guess I always, like, seen, everyone's always told me I've always been an old soul. And I never had a problem with, like, standing in a room of fucking adults and thinking I was an adult and, like, fitting in, you know? Good times. It was good times. True, just found the ad that Vince Colosimo was into a lot of substances sold directly to the man. Well, I wasn't going to go into that far, but I can say that, yeah, that was most of his criminal history was because of his substance use. He was, there was a few actors, Grant Denyer, I'll say, fell victim to addiction. Yeah, there was a lot of people. I actually used to sell, this is something I'm not proud of, but it's the truth and it still trips me out. and it will make you guys scared too. I used to actually sell meth to Qantas pilots, allegedly. True story. So these dudes would just rock up, and I've made a video about it. It's crazy because when I met them, I thought they were cops. I was assured that they weren't cops. They're nothing but Qantas pilots. And I remember at the time thinking, yeah, alright, but alright. And then I remember fucking MH fucking 470 went missing, and I was like, oh god, thank fuck that wasn't a Qantas plane, allegedly. Don't they get tested heaps? Who gets tested heaps? And you know what's actually funny? So in my later life, when I was a criminal bikie and this and that, I actually ran into a lot of these people that I did acting with when I was a child, which was crazy to them. That actually used to blow their minds. I would say, I remember, like, it happened to me like 4 times. So I remember I was at, I've told this story yet, but I haven't told this part of the story. Me and my mate, so my best mate's dad was best mates with the dude that owns Heat nightclub, right? And so that's where they used to have the Logies after party. And so anyway, one time my mate's dad come home and he said, oi, do you boys want 2 tickets to the Logies after party? I was 18, my mate was 19. We were like, yes, we do want tickets, free tickets to the Logies after party. Anyway, I've told the stories. I've ran into Dermot Berridon, that dickhead from Big Brother, fucking Igor, that spoke about his fucking Monaro all the time. I seen Molly Meldrum. Like, respectfully, I've got respect. Well, I don't even know, actually. It's fucking 2026. And the respect I used to have for Molly Meldrum is not the same because of the claims. But I'll tell you something right now, right? So, Molly Meldrum is the host of every single Logies after party. And he always used to have them at Heat nightclub, right? And so, everyone used to wait for fucking Molly Meldrum to rock up. And so I swear to God, at this time, also something I'm not proud of, but I'm doing lines with actors, like people that everyone knows, do you know what I mean? And only because, like, I was selling at the time, and there was never ever going to be a time that I was never ever going to go to an event like that and not network, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's exactly what I did. But anyway, I found myself in that toilet a lot, having fucking nose tacos with a couple of actors. But so, true story. So, we're all sitting at the bar. There's me and my mate, and by this time, so I had to stop Dermot Berridon from bashing that Igor from Big Brother about 4 times. And so by this time, you've got me sitting here at the bar, my mate sitting there at the bar, and you've got Dermot Berridon sitting there, and you've got that Igor dickhead sitting on the other side, right? And like I said, I had to stop Dermot Berridon, like, I swear, like 4 times. Dermot Berridon just went to fucking hammer this guy from Big Brother, and every time I just tackled him, I'm like, bro, just fucking calm down. Like, this is like, bro, you're an identity that, like, you'll get in trouble for this shit. Just stop it. And, yeah, it was pretty funny. Good times. Oh, yeah, that's why I haven't told the story. I haven't finished yet. And so I swear to God, everyone was like, the DJ was like, everyone welcome Molly Meldrum, the host of the party, right? Next thing you know, you see Molly Meldrum walk through the fucking doors, and then there was no need for any lights because Molly Meldrum's eyes were like this. I've never seen anything like it. He looked like a fucking meerkat. I can't even explain it. whatever Molly Meldrum was having before he came to the fucking after party, I can tell you what he was having at the after party, but before the after party, like I remember going to my mate like, bro, look, I'm fucking trying to pull him over to have a look at Molly, fucking walking in looking like no, not a meerkat, a fucking what are those things from Madagascar? What are they called with the big eyes? Yeah, them things. That's what he looked like. So, a true story. So that Logie's after party wasn't. I went to another one after that, but through the same network of people. So my best mate's dad was best mates with the guy that owned Heat at the time, and but I actually, so it was really, really crazy. That actually made me like, and like I said before, I would meet these people and I would say, like, I would be doing this, and you know what I'm talking about when I'm doing that, and then I would say, oi, can you remember me? And they'd be like, no, why should I? And I'm like, fucking country practice, fucking 1992. Little redheaded fucking kid. That was me. No fucking way. Blue Healers, same fucking thing. Same thing. I'm not going to say who, but I'll say the character became an underbelly character as well. Yeah. I believe his initials are DWH. Ebsy Buttles. Alright, legends, I'm just going to go to the Brascanocious and top up, and I'll be back, grab my dinner. So if you could just give me a couple of moments. I wrote this song.
Met you in the chaos.
Thought I found my life.
You were dancing, shadows deep into the night. I gave you all my heart, tried to be your cure. But the love ain't enough when the poison's got a load. And it broke me in pieces, watching you fade away. You love the high more than you ever loved the day. Now the echoes of your laughter just ghosts in my mind. I'm left here wondering if I'll ever love again. I try to hold you close, but you slip through like sand. I told myself I'd fix it, be your solid line. But you were chasing dragons I could never hold to tame. Left me standing in the ruins, whispering your name. And it broke me in pieces, watching you fade away. You love the night more than you ever loved the day. Now the echoes of your laughter are just ghosts in my mind. And I'm left here wondering if I'll ever love again. I gave you every sunrise, chose the endless night. Now love feels like a battle that I can't get right. I hope you found your peace wherever you may roam. But you left me with these shadows in the place we call home. And it broke me in pieces, watching you fade away. You love the night more than you ever loved the day. Now I'm haunted by the memories, trying to find my way. Wondering if I'll ever love again, or if my heart will stay this fragile. Met you in the chaos, thought I found my light, but you were dancing with shadows deep into the night. I gave you all my heart, tried to be your cure. A little love ain't enough when the poison's got a lure. And it broke me in pieces, watching you fade away. You love the high more than you ever loved the day. Now the echoes of your laughter just ghosts in my mind. I'm left here wondering if I'll ever love again. I tried to hold you close, but you slipped through like sand. I told myself I'd fix it, be your solid line. But you were chasing dragons I could never hope to tame. Left me standing in the ruins, whispering your name. And it broke me in pieces, watching you fade away. You love the night more than you ever loved the day. Now the echoes of your laughter are just ghosts in my mind. And I'm left here wondering if I'll ever love gave you every sunrise, you chose the endless night. Now love feels like a battle that I can't get right. I hope you found your peace wherever you may roam. But you left me with these shadows.
Morning.
Place we call
Walking on the left,
and it broke me
passing on the right.
watching you fade away.
Ooh,
You
really
love
rolled
the
it.
night more than you ever loved the day. Now I'm haunted by the memories, trying to find my way. Wondering if I'll ever love again, or if my heart will stay this way.
Sorry, legends. I don't know what I just walked into, but I love it. Daniel Swinburne says, "Was Iggy Pop ever straight? And he always looks smashed." Oh, what a legend Iggy Pop was. He's very much in the same level in my eyes. He's a Keith Richards. Do you know what I mean? Lemmy from Motorhead. You know them dudes. I watched. I watched this documentary on Lemmy from Motorhead, which was the last documentary he filmed. I can't remember his age, yeah, but all I know, I think he was like 72 or something like that. And so, I don't know if you guys know, but the word Motorhead actually comes from like 60s, 70s times. And that would explain, that was what they used to call people that take speed, yeah? So, someone who took speed was a motorhead. And hence the Motorhead name. And so Lemmy literally took amphetamines to the day he died. The last documentary I watched, I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, literally like, what a fucking like. Once again, I'm not glorifying drugs or anything, but like them guys literally did not give up till day died. Oh, don't even get me started on the football. Fucking hell, man. I don't even like. I'm not one of these people that puts my football team down. But there's been something in the last 3 years with Carlton that, like, the first half of every game that they're playing well, at least, you're like, fuck, premiership fucking for sure. Then we hit half time, and then that's it. Game over. I have to plug my phone in. Give me a moment. I thought I brought that in here. Rage is awesome. Oi, how good's Rage? Do you know, Rage, I don't know if they do it anymore, but I used to watch Rage a lot in jail. So at Port Phillip, you can lock your door from the inside, yeah? Every morning, 8 o'clock, screws come around and do the muster, blah, blah, blah. So I used to stay up. I used to deliberately do this. I used to stay up to like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning every single night. And then as soon as the screws would come around, and I would watch Rage, right? Because they used to have Rage repeats on at this time from 1 o'clock till like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I used to stay up till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5 o'clock, and then I would, when the screws come around at 8 o'clock, and do muster. And like Port Phillip's dodgy as you don't even have to move. Like every other fucking prison, you have to at least sit up, put one leg on the ground, something. Let them know that they can see that you're alive. But Port Phillip, no, they don't do that shit. But I used to sleep till muster, the second muster, which was 10 to 12. And that's what I used to do every day. But I used to watch Rage every single night. I used to watch a lot of ABC. Yeah, ABC and SBS have got some crazy movies. Boy, Jonesy and Stephen, both funny comments. So I agree, but you've got to understand, the blood rule came in around the time when a lot of blood-borne viruses were getting around, and there were players that allegedly had HIV and whatnot. So that's why they done the blood rule. But you're right. No, there's no comparison. I remember going and watch Carlton play at like Waverley Park when Waverley used to be open, and you could almost guarantee that there would be a fight every game, like, and it would be like kind of like how rugby is now, or what you call football in other states, NRL. It was kind of like, all right, you just had a punch on, jump off for fucking 15 minutes and come back on. None of this suspended for fucking 79,000 weeks and shit. Rugby, not footy, and football, not soccer. Yeah, I get it, but it's so hard. Like it's literally like a cardinal sin. If you go to some places and say football and they find out that you're referring to AFL, I've had that happen to me in many places. Like, it happened to me in Sydney, like New South Wales, more than it happened to me in Queensland. But at least in New South Wales, you can go to a bar and they'll be playing like a sports bar and they'll be playing an AFL game. You go to fucking Queensland and you try and find a bar that's playing an AFL game, it is very hard. Generally, the only ones that play the AFL games are like if the owners are from Victoria and follow, AFL. They hate us, eh? Queenslanders absolutely hate Victorians. I remember this one time. I've lived in Queensland, as you guys know. Most of my immediate family live in Queensland, except for my children and my dad. Otherwise, everyone else in my family, my immediate family, lives in Queensland. So I've lived in Queensland on many, many, many times. I can't remember what my point was, what I was getting to there. Oh, JD Legend. So JD says, "Hey mate, how'd you go? How'd you go? Did I at the doctors? I missed the start of the stream." All right. So I also want to know how you went at the doctors today too. But so I mean, I'm moving forward. I was hoping that I was going to start my medication today, but like I said to you guys, more than likely they're not going to start me on my medication because I haven't had my the MRI scan I was supposed to. Now that's not my fault. That's not my fault. They actually rang me up, well, messaged me actually, and said your MRI has been rescheduled because so and so is on leave. And so the same thing happened with my neurologist. I don't know. Something must have been going on at the hospital that day. And so yeah, so I've got my they're in there somewhere. I've got my referral for the MRI, and I'm just waiting for a phone call now. Could be next week, could be the week after. He said, but it won't be anything over 4 weeks. He said, and then as soon as you have your MRI scan, then we can start you on your medication. Oh, can't fucking wait. Where did those damn Blues Brothers go? Well, yeah, who knows? If you're talking about very recent years, one of them went to jail. I actually don't think he did. I don't think he did any prison time, actually, fucking Silvani. He might have. I don't know. Did he do any Silvani? Did he do any fucking prison time over the scandal? My mum just says I can't wait for me to start. I can't wait for me to start either. My neurologist can't wait for me to start. And he apologised to me for being medicationless for this long, which has been fucked, I'm not going to lie. What's wrong with you? Oh, I mean, not too much. I've got multiple sclerosis, so that's what we're talking about. Quick subject change. Hey, Biff, my TCC shirt arrived today. Yes. Thanks again for the gift voucher. You're kind and it's appreciated. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Which one did you get? Which shirt did you get? I'm sure you've told me this before, but yeah, no, I can't remember. Respectfully. How do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Sepultura or Sepultura? Because the band actually pronounce it Sepultura. navy singlet, new TCC logo on the front. Oh yes, I know the exact one. Oof. You're fully yourself? Drop the ego? No, we're gonna drop you. I don't even know what I could have said that made me full of myself. I'm sorry if I've come across as full of myself. Yeah, he was happy with the way I am, but wanted to do another MRI to make sure there was no damage to my last attack. Yeah, pretty much the same as mine. Oh, thank you. Can you tell your dad can you tell your dad I said the same thing? Navy sister? Tell your dad I said the same thing. I support his transition. Yeah, watch out for me. Yeah, it's like, that's what it's like. It's like one moment we're fine and then the next moment, poof, Troll City. Bro, I do not have a fucking tall poppy syndrome. Let him look. Trolls will be trolls. Do you know what I mean? I actually take a little bit of like appreciation that the trolls have taken a moment away from like the bedroom with their sister, and they're here now to be here. It's trolls will say Monopoly is like a game the whole family can play, like Twister with your sister, stuff like that. Yeah, it's not your fault, guys. Like, you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you see, I don't know what you see, but like, Ash McKenzie. I know an Ash McKenzie. Trolls can't piss on our parade. Yeah, like, look, it is what it is. Trolls will be trolls, and we will still be here rocking on and not caring at all. I'm good, thank you, Ash McKenzie. How are you? Are you the Ash McKenzie I know? Yeah, you'd be surprised if you're part of the Commonwealth hash noodle. Oi, Commodores, you bloody legend. Butters! My sister's friend has MS too. She saw her specialist today. How fucking crazy is that? JD has MS. He's seen his specialist today. I seen my specialist and your fucking friend's sister. She has no new lesions on her brain and got her new medication. It looks like an EpiPen. She jabs her thigh daily. Oh yeah, that's called Tysabri. They offered that to me at the start, and I have a very fucking massive needle phobia, where I will hurt you. I will hurt you. Every time I have to get put under in hospital, it's funny because they have to like if they ever have to give me a needle or anything like that, if I need a general instead of a local instead of a general, like yeah, I do not do needles well. Yeah, fucking oath. I fucking hate needles, man. I fucking hate them. The worst thing is, when you go into the doctors, because I'm covered in fucking tattoos from head to toe, literally, like, they can't believe that I have a needle phobia. Or I'm like, I fucking do. I'm an over specialist, got 6 of them, and they're a different breed. They definitely are. But like, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm the famous Ash McKenzie from Frankston. Well, I will say that you are not the Ash McKenzie that I'm thinking of. Oh, UFO, you fucking legend. Buddles. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Super duper time. What are you well known for in Frankston? Dare I ask? Trolls in the day lived under bridges. Now they have smartphones. But look, just being from Frankston, I love that. That's mad. Are you a male or a female? Ash McKenzie. Oi, KB. Oi, how funny is that? Hello, hello, it's Chris and Mari from Wombat Valley Plant Farm. Do you know why they stopped making those ads? Old Chris went on a vacation. Got called a conspiracy theorist for not taking the jab. Truth was, needles make me faint. Look, I'm the same. But like now I'm glad I didn't, now that I know that one of the injections had, every single one of them had a part of Jeffrey fucking Epstein's DNA in it. Fucking weirdo. Oi, that's my beautiful mum and she's saying good night. Boosh. Love you, mumsy. Oi, I'll call you tomorrow, mumsy. Yeah, it's a bit hard. Like, I used to live in Hastings. That was the fucking ad that was on TV all the time. I'm talking pre-digital TV, when there was like, if you had a good aerial, 5 channels. SBS, ABC, or Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10. That was the whack growing up. And if you didn't have a good aerial, guess what? You didn't have all them channels. Oi, well, sending positive vibes to your mum that's in hospital, legend. KB. What are these things? Oh. There's so many activities. What? This one looks like fun. What the fuck is going here? No way. Is this Pong? Is this Pong? Look forward to. Righto, what goes on in this game? Oh, it's like fucking Magic the Gathering. Is this your first escorting a pyro paladin on a dungeon raid? Just clear the 54 cards from the deck and get out of here with as many coins as possible. Okay, let's go. I'll show you how I play. Bang, bang, bang. Don't know what that means. Drag card there. Rightio. Now drag the shield card to there. Rightio. Now drag the potion card to there. Oi, I already hate this game. What a stupid game it is. Guys. Oi, Nessie, you bloody legend. Sorry, I'm just trying out what these buttons do here on my screen here. There's so many of them. Oh, what does the effects picker do? Hello. Peace. Nah, nothing here. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's like fucking Blair Witch Project. Oh, X-ray. Look at the fucking size of you. I don't know if you guys know that I just caught a fucking fly mid-flight. Look at that. I'm going to turn this fucking lens off. Do you see me say, look at the fucking size of that? And I went bang and caught it mid-flight. Look at you, you fuck. Guess where you're going? Straight to hell, you fuck. I actually heard that's a device for some certain couple of blowies in a fucking bottle. I wonder if it actually picks up on heat signature. Let's go. I'll rub my head really for fucking. No, it doesn't. All it says is you're a ranger. That's all it does. All right, that's enough of fucking around with the effects. But wait, there's more. Oh. We can do this. See if anyone knows the reference. Wait, I'll make that smaller and just put it there. Oh, fuck. Why'd you go there? I didn't put you there, you fuck. How does a posi track rear end work on a Plymouth? Does anyone know what that is referenced from? How does a posi track rear end work on a Plymouth? If you know, you know. That's from a something. And guys, pay attention. Don't lick the walls. If you ever come to my house, don't lick the walls. Please don't lick the walls. I've got another one that says, please don't do cocaine in the bathroom. But I'm not allowed to show that on screen. The snozberries taste like snozberries. So if you guys don't know what the reference was, so that's from Joe Dirt or Joe Dirte. How do I make that not be there anymore now? Just like that. Don't lick the walls and please don't eat the crayons. Look, I'll have to say that I was one of those special kids that used to eat the clag glue. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. Can't explain it. No answer. Where did you get the street signs, Biff? Oh, yeah, these ones. So that says go the fuck away. That's the name of the street. And then that one says Psychopath, if you have a look. Psychopath. I got them from Temu. Temu. Did you sniff liquid paper thinners? No, I never sniffed anything. Like, I was never one of those people that fucking inhaled fucking fly spray and fucking deodorant and never did none of that shit. I was like, yeah, no, didn't do it. Yeah, you know what? I actually I chewed on a couple of fucking glue sticks in my time. It's not like it was like this thing that was like you had to keep a secret. And it's like if anyone watches you doing it, so like if this was a glue stick, this was me in grade 2 going like just putting it back in the pencil case. What are you eating? Nothing. What are you eating? Don't put ball bearing in the nose. Oh God, don't. My goodness. That actually reminded me of lots of crazy things that happened to me in my time. I have had articles stuck up my nose. Yeah. I love the smell of the old Texas, and I live the smell of petrol. I love the smell, I reckon. Tarzan grip. Yeah, no, I never did none of that. I'll tell you, like, so I tried weed for the first time when I was 12 years old, yeah, and it was laced with LSD. And that was an experience that no 12-year-old should go through, to say the least. fuck me, was that an adventure. And then so from that point on to like, well, true story, I actually tried weed like 2 weeks after that and I didn't really like it. And then I literally didn't touch weed again until I was like 17, I think, because I was like too busy boxing and like just doing like boxing really. I used to play footy as well, back-to-back premierships, Benalla All Blacks, 1999, 2000. Let's go. True story, actually made it into the grand final the third year in the row, but we lost it that year. 3 grand finals, 3 years in a row, and we won 2 of them. I know people that have played football their whole life and can't even say, unfortunately, that they've played in a grand final. It's a rarity.
Every time the camera's on, you're riding with me through the storm.
From the stories to the struggle, yeah.
You've been there all along.
I played for Dookie United. Oi, stop, get the fuck out of here. Oi, how old are you, Jamie? Oi, I actually played. I kicked 2 goals. I used to play back pocket, yeah, that was my position. But I was like, you know what? I'm fucking kicking a goal in this grand finals. I don't give a shit. My coach can tell me off. I don't care. I'm kicking a goal. And I kicked 2 goals against Dookie United at Dookie United. But true story, my dad got into a fight that day, if you were there at that grand final. Dookie United, it wasn't a grand final, it was a second preliminary final, and then we played Shepparton East in the grand finals. But my dad got in a big fight that day at the football. I remember it now, it's funny, but it's not. Like, I remember something happened. This dude pushed in the bar in front of my dad. I was standing there with my dad. My dad's like, "Oh, don't push in, mate. Get back in line." And this guy said something like, I don't want to say what he really said because it'll make it sound like worse than what it is. But anyway, he said to my dad, "Rah, rah, rah, this is my bar, basically. This is my land." And my dad, this guy had like his fucking hair plaited and they were both hanging down here like this. My dad said, "How fucking dare you tell me what to do when you're fucking standing here in the bar with hair like Pocahontas?" And then that was it. Game on from that moment. Funny, my dad to say that actually. Like, my dad was like, "How fucking dare you tell me to get out of the fucking line of the bar when you're standing here and you've got hair like fucking Pocahontas?" It's fucking hilarious. That guy did not find it funny at all. Nothing like the 2-stroke smell. You know, like on the castle, it's like, it's nothing like the smell of 2-stroke in the morning. Then they pan over to Eric Banner, and Eric Banner's like doing these crazy, like fucking kung fu moves on the. That is the best movie. Angus, so you know what my dad used to do? My dad would say this, yeah. My mum's left the chat, otherwise she would fucking second it. But my dad would say, "Right, we're going fishing, yeah?" And so he'd grab one of us kids, generally not me, because he hated me, because I had red hair and I don't know, he hated me, I don't know. But and then what he would do, he would go to the pub, he'd spend all day just drinking piss at the pub, and then he'd buy a fucking fish off the fucking publican, and then he would go home and say that he's been sitting at the fucking river all day fishing, but he's really been sitting at the pub all day drinking piss. And then right at the end of the day, he'd buy a fucking, like, it depends where he was, like, say, for instance, If it was like on this side of the town, it'd be like he'd get a cod. If he was saying he was fishing on this side of the town, he'd buy a trout, you know. And it depended what pub we were at. They would always have those fish because, especially the Tadong Tavern. And also, I try and say this to JJ, but she can't remember it. There used to be this pub on the slide. No, on the Black Spur or the slide. The one that's on the Malborough. I get them confused all the time. But there used to be this pub right on the corner there before you get to that fucking servo in Glenburn. There used to be a pub right on the corner there. And it's right before the Murrumbidgee Creek or something. Murrumbidgee. It's on the Murrumbidgee River. It's the pub that used to be on the Murrumbidgee River. That was the number one pub where he used to go. He used to go there and fucking just piss on all day and usually get kicked out for punching on and all fucking crazy shit. Drive home fucking blind drunk with his kids in the car. 10 points, Dad. You know what? I don't not love my dad. I love him very much, but like I've got a lot of resentment towards my dad because of my childhood. And I actually said this to myself when I became a father. I said to myself, if I do the exact opposite, kind of like what I say to you guys if you don't want to do a life of crime and drugs and rah. I said to myself, if I do the exact opposite to what my dad did, I'm going to be the best dad in the world. And if you ask any of my children, they will tell you that I am. Remember the smell of cap guns. Fuck, bro. It is so fucking crazy that you said that because I actually thought about something on the way to the doctor's today that reminded me of something, of an incident where I used a cap gun and got charged for using a real gun. And I don't know. I think it was because of the area I was in was fairly close to the area where it happened. But I actually remember thinking that exact thing today, like the smell of cap guns, which is quite crazy because cap guns actually smell very, very similar to a real gun after it's been shot anyway. Bulls, thank you, Hash Noodle. Yeah, look, I don't hate my dad. I don't, you know. I actually wish I could give my dad more time than I do. But yeah, I guess I have too many memories to just like I'm not even going to go into it. Remember the old cap guns you could get from the chemist? Fuck yeah, you could buy a cap gun from anywhere. The best place to buy the best cap guns were at the markets like Dandenong Market, the Dandenong Trash and Treasure, Caribbean Gardens. Like all them places had the best fucking cap guns. That, like, granted, 2 of those cap guns actually got me like legitimate firearms charges because of using them the way I did. The second one was the funniest though. Well, the third one was the funniest though. Like, my third gun charge was the funniest. I sold my car. I was only like 18 years old. I got my first 2 gun charges when I was 15. So I got my third one when I was 18 years old and I just sold my car and I had a gun under the seat, driver's seat. And it was so this particular car was a HQ Ute with a Premier front end and it had like it was this color that you'd never really seen before. It was like a baby blue but with a pearl through it. It was a fucking mad car. and it had a VNSS 5 litre in it, right? This thing was off its head. This thing used to do like 12 sixes at fucking Calder on the Calder, and it was a ute. And I never used to weigh the back down or nothing, just used to put big fuck off tyres on the back. Anyway, I sold this to this guy. So this is how the story went down. So I actually swapped it. So he wanted my ute, I wanted his bike. And he had a CR125. And he said, look, I'll give you my bike plus X amount of $1,000. I was like, yeah, sweet, done. We done the deal that day. He dropped the bike off at my house. I went from my house. I lived in Devon Meadows in Cranbourne. And I was heading straight for, we used to call it the Hunt Club. So it's kind of on, well, not kind of, it used to be on Cranbourne Narrow Road where the new estate is now. It used to be called the Hunt Club, where they used to like do fox hunting there. And yeah. But yeah, that was my so anyway, I'm riding my bike, true story. And so I just bought it. This dude just took off in my ute, and I literally, the moment he took off, I took off down the main road heading straight for the local like motorbike track, which people had made. I had to ride on the road on a dirt bike to get there though. And so anyway, I remember I was riding down fucking Cranbourne Narrow Road, and I was literally mapped out. Like, so I had this fucking CR125 pegged. It could not go any faster. And just because I just wanted to get there and I just wanted to go over the jumps and this and that. And then I remember all of a sudden the back wheel just went poof and fucking sent me flying. I came off and I was like, what the fuck just happened? It felt like, you know, when you were riding your bike at school and like, you know, I used to do this all the time. People would ride their bikes into school and I would get the fucking stakes from the trees and I would fall through their back wheel while they were riding, or their front wheel while they're riding into the fucking bike rack. They'd come off, you know. That's what it felt like to me. I'm like maxed out on this bike. And so anyway, long story short, I blew the bike up, right? But he did not tell me that I had to put coolant in it. I was just assuming that this bike was good to go. But it had an empty coolant and it was a 2-stroke and fucking, yeah, I had it fucking pinned the whole way. And I was monoing, doing all fucking stupid shit. And yeah, like I said, back wheel locked up and then I fucking came off. And I remember, like, it couldn't have happened any stupider. I remember ringing my mate, right, which was an acquaintance, really. It wasn't, I'd only just met him. And I met him at trade school, but he was mates with some of my mates from my town because he was from my town. And anyway, I remember ringing him up and I'm like, oh, you fucking dog. You sold me a fucking piece of shit. This bike's fucked. I didn't even realise at the time, like, it wouldn't kick because it was fully seized. And I'm like, I can't even kick it over. And he goes, well, I'm in the Cranbourne police station. I was like, so what? He goes, no, I'm in the Cranbourne police station because they just pulled me over in the main street of Cranbourne because apparently 2 weeks before you sold me the car, you pulled your gun out at the Coringal Town Hall on a group of people, apparently, allegedly. And so my car was like on a fucking watch list, which is called a whereabouts. And, yeah, I had sold my car. I hadn't been seen by the police, which they were alleging that I pulled a gun out on someone, which is obviously alleged. And then, so, yeah, my friend bought the car and, yeah, he's like, I'm actually in the Cranbourne police station right now. And I literally, this is what I did. I literally pushed the bike over, pushed it into the drain, so covered it over as much as I could, and walked from Cranbourne Narrow Road to the fucking Cranbourne police station, knocked on the door and said, oi, that's my gun. It's not his. I just sold him the car. That's my gun. Poor dude was like literally crying to me. He's like, what the fuck, bro? I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my... He was a tattooist. It's like, I'm going to lose my tattoo shop, everything. He goes, fucking, why didn't you tell me there was a gun under the chair? I was like, I didn't know. But I forgot. We went to Wobby's. Oh, Wobby's World. Wobby's World. Corner of Springvale and Nunawanning Road, Nunawanning. I never went there, but I can remember the ads, and that's what it used to say. Corner of Springvale and Nunawanning Road, Nunawanning. That's a shit go for sure. Oh, look, you can look at it as a shit go, but I fucking turned it around. I walked into the police station and I fucking, like, yeah, that guy was in the police station talking to me on the phone saying, this is your gun. He's snitching on me, yeah? But never in my world could I ever let someone go down for something like that, especially someone who I classed as a friend, even though he was only a new friend. I was never going to let him go down for it. So I went and handed myself in. So it's not really a shit go. It was a strong go, actually. Ryder says, went to school with Travis. Which Travis? Yeah, no, all good. No fucking hate here, brother. Heck. I had no choice. It's what I had to do. And that's what any real man would have done. And that's what I did. That was my third gun charge. I've got my criminal record somewhere. I have been found with firearms a lot in my life. So, as a matter of fact, when I'd done my 9 years, I was actually found with two guns on. Well, I was found with two guns. One was still on me and one was underneath the seat of the car. Very lucky. And so, I mean, it's a touch and go on me too, the way it was. But like, anyway, but like, here's the truth. Here's the absolute truth, right? I put the bigger gun, what I had. I know I do fucking switches really quick. I'm very ADHD, I'm sorry. But yeah, I remember like on that day, like that was crazy. It was like someone was looking over me, because if I had have got out of that car with what I did have on me, which was a sawn-off shotgun, we pulled into the hotel and I'd been saying to my girl the whole time, we're being followed. And she just kept on trying to tell me that I was crazy. I even now think that she might have been the person that tipped the police off to where we were, because like we were wanted, and I was wanted particularly more than everyone else, because they were alleging that I was like hanging around the Sydney Road, Coburg area. And at this particular time, there was 11 Indian jewelry shops that had been robbed. You guys might remember around 2010. And so like the owners of the shops were actually getting taken hostage and all this. And because I actually was staying around that area at the time, well, I was staying in Clifton Hill, right? And so because they heard that I was in the area and all of these armed robberies took place, they were already looking for me for an armed robbery and attempted murder, right? And the only reason it was an armed robbery, what they were looking for me, what I'd done my 9 years for, is because after I gave the guy hiding, I grabbed his wallet, took his ID, and said, I know who you are now, bro. Make sure you do the right thing, blah, 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 and took his ID, yeah? So because I was armed, I had a shotgun. I didn't rob him. I took his ID and said, like, but anyway, I was initially charged with attempted murder and armed robbery. And yeah, so that was the charge for armed robbery. But anyway, we pulled over at the hotel. I'd just been telling my girl, a lot of you people have heard this story before. It was at the Faulkner Formula One, which is called like the Ibis now or some shit. And I'd been staying there under a false name, right, for the night before, and we were about to stay our second night. And then I remember I went over to the Campbellfield shops, walked into the fucking kebab shop, ordered a kebab, walked up to the. Can you guys remember those Video Easy machines that they used to have out the front of shopping centres? I was the fucking, like, I am a movie buff. I love movies. And so even when I was on the run, I would like always hire movies, and I would always have like my Xbox or my PlayStation with me wherever I go. I still do it now when I go to hotels, so I can play my Xbox. And anyway, long story, said to my girl, we're getting followed. She said, you're fucking tripping. And I said, all right, then we'll see. Anyway, cut a long story short, we get to the hotel, and I had two guns on me. I had a sawn-off shotgun and a smaller gun. And I remember I just had this feeling. I don't know why, but I was like, it just said, you need to take that gun apart. And I actually ripped the fucking, like it was a VS Commodore. If you guys know, you can actually like peel the fucking seats up and off. And anyway, so I peeled the seat off and I stuffed it up underneath the fucking cushion of the front seat, and I got out of the car, and this is literally what happened, right? So where's my phone? All right, can't find it. Let's just say this is a phone. So I've walked to the back of the car, and I've put that away, and I've got the DVDs and the souvlaki in this hand, like my kebabs, what I bought for me and my girl. And the night before, me and my other co-accused, which was my brother and my best mate, we separated because we were staying in St Kilda, and there was police walking up and down the main street of St Kilda with photos of me, only me, the whole time. They didn't want my brother. They didn't want my other co-accused. They just wanted me as the ringleader. They were alleging I was with a bike club at the time, blah, 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 blah. You can fucking fill in the gaps yourself, the rest. And I literally was doing this, right? I remember I was on the phone to my brother on my burner phone, and I'm sending my brother a message saying, bro, I am red fucking hot. I am going right now. I'm walking up into my hotel room. I'm going to collect my shit, and we're getting in our car and we're going to see Dad. And so my dad lived interstate at the time. My dad had no fucking idea what was going on. I just rang him and said, look, fucking, I need you right now. I'm coming to see you. He's like, yeah, come. And so, yeah, that's what happened. I'm on the phone to my brother typing a message saying, I'm red hot. I've got cops on me everywhere. And then I remember typing the message, and my girl said, fuck, babe. And I was like, I just knew by the way that she said it. And I should have jerried, because when I pulled into the hotel, all the cars were gone. So obviously when I left in the morning, they obviously went to every room and said, fucking leave. There could be a shootout. This guy is listed as armed and dangerous. He's an armed offender. There's a chance there could be a shootout. I was well known for letting shots off. And so I should have realised what was going on, but I didn't. And I remember pulling in, and I remember seeing the two vans parked side by side and no other cars. And I remember thinking in my head, that's weird. And I remember like keeping an eye on it, but then like I figured like if it was the police, they would have not even waited for me to stop that car. They would have jumped out of them vans and they would have got me as soon as I was in reach, you know. And keep in mind, I'd been on the run for 8 months and had been keeping these motherfuckers at bay for 8 months. And then these armed robberies took place and they suggested that I must have been the person that did these armed robberies because my phone was giving pings in that area, right? And so I'm talking 2010. This is not 2026 where technology was not what it is now. And so they can only have a roundabout area of where you are in regards to the ping they're giving from the phone tower. So they knew I was in the area and they just assumed, oh, well, we've just charged him with armed robbery and attempted murder. He must be the person he's on the run. He needs money. He's gone down. And every single one of these fucking jewelry shops was on Sydney Road, yeah? Every single one of them. Not one of them was not on Sydney Road. Actually, sorry, one was not on. One of them was on High Street in Fawkner, and so they alleged that I had robbed all of these by myself because the person who did do the armed robberies did rob them by himself, and I was very well known for always doing things by myself because I don't trust people. I don't want people to snitch on me. And so anyway, this is exactly what happened. I'm texting my brother. My girl goes, fuck, babe. I look up, and as I look up, so those two vans that were parked beside each other were full of SOG. So like 10 in each, at least, like they were chock-a-block full. It seemed like an army was piling out of them vans, right? And then no quicker than that started happening, two Bearcats pull up. So one Bearcat, so if you don't know what a Bearcat is, that's the armoured vehicles, what the special police use. So two Bearcats pull up because I'm listed as armed and dangerous. And the crimes that I did before, they were looking for me for, they were suggesting that I was using a gun and blah, 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 blah. So the night before this happened, they actually rang my mum and said, you need to ring your boy and tell him to hand himself in because we're going to kill him. And that's exactly what they said to my mum. Because you don't understand, we've got him listed as, like right now, and at the time, I was Australia's most wanted, right? This is 2010. I was on Crime Stoppers, Australia's most wanted, because of this one situation. And they rang my mum. My mum's ringing me on my burner phone going, son, please hand yourself in. Please, I don't want you to die. And I'm like, I've got this shit, mum. Don't worry. I'm not going to die. Don't worry. I've got this shit. And, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Bang. I look up. Oh, fuck. They run. And I'm fucking like, fuck. Like knowing damn well, thank fuck I just put the shotgun away because I had a trench coat on, right? You guys see I wear like woolen fucking coats all the time, like bluey style coats, yeah? And so I had a long one on and my shotgun was in that and I pulled it into 3 bits and I put it underneath the seat. Thank fuck I did that because I would have got my head blown off otherwise because the other gun I had was a 25. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a 25. Some of you might not have even heard of a 25. So a 25 is a small automatic pistol that is literally, I'll tell you how small a 25 is. You could literally fit a 25 in a packet of Winnie Blues. That's how small some 25s are. So my particular one, I could fit it inside a packet of Winnie Blues and then just like put it wherever I needed it. And yeah, so I seen the cops coming. They instantly, like, I've never seen anything like this actually, and still to this day, have never had an arrest like this one. So they were all holding fluorescent orange guns, yeah? So, like, every gun that every person was holding was fluorescent orange, which was so bonkers to me because they look like Nerf guns. And in my head, I was like, these dickheads have just ran up on me with Nerf guns, and I've got a real one. But anyway, yeah, I remember literally like being in, like thinking, what the fuck? Am I tripping out or what? Anyway, they were like, get on the ground, get on the ground. And I was like, no, I'm not getting on the ground. You've got the wrong person. What do you want me for? And they're like, get on the fucking ground or we're going to shoot you. And I was like, shoot me then. I don't fucking care. This is on the news. It's still a news article that you can find if you type in my name, Leif Hughes. And so the news, so when the Bearcats pulled up, there was 2 helicopters above as well. One was a police helicopter. The other one was the Channel 7 or Channel 9 news helicopter filming everything. And so anyway, they're like, get on the ground. I'm like, no, I'm not getting on the ground. I haven't done anything wrong. What the fuck am I getting on the ground for first? And they're like, get on the ground or we're going to fucking shoot you. I was like, well, fucking shoot me. Shoot me then. Didn't care. I was literally that fucked up in the head at the time. I didn't care. And so my girl at the time, she's already hit the deck and she's like begging me, please, babe, get on the ground. And I'm going, fucking stop. I'm talking to these police officers. And so anyway, they're not talking to me. They're yelling. And so I remember I put my hand in my pocket to grab my phone, yeah? And because I wanted to tell my brother that that's it. The game's over. I'm fucked. And I went to put my hand in my pocket to grab my phone and literally like fucking 16 out of the 20 of these SOG that were holding fucking fluorescent shotguns and fucking fluorescent fucking AR-15s looking like fucking Call of Duty weapons but spray painted orange were like, if you move your fucking hand 1 more millimeter, motherfucker, and this is exactly how they were talking. If you move your fucking hand 1 more millimeter, motherfucker, we will blow your fucking head off. And I remember, like, my hand was, like, right here, and I'm like, fuck, these dudes do mean business. But still, I wouldn't get on the ground because I knew what was going to happen as soon as I got on the ground. I knew as soon as I gave up because they knew that I had guns, right? They didn't know that how many or whatever. They knew that I was wanted for this and that all of those armed robberies that they were alleging that I played a part in, firearms were used by this singular person. So they were being very, very cautious because obviously they were aware of me having guns, and I've made it quite clear that I used to carry guns everywhere with me. I was taught, you know, it was always better to be caught with a gun and not need one than to be caught without one and, you know, you need one. So I didn't really care about the consequences with the life I was living. But anyway, I remember, so my girl pulled on my pants and she was like, get on the ground. And I was like, babe, fucking stop. Let me sort this out. And like, I turned my head down for 1 second to tell her to like, just stop, just lay down there and don't get shot. And then next thing you know, bang, like literally got hit with the butt of one of those fluorescent orange shotguns, fractured my eye socket, fractured my orbital sphere, apparently it's called, and fractured my skull. Yeah, they fucked me up that day. And yeah, that was a crazy, crazy, crazy arrest. Crazy. I'll have to say that, yeah, probably the most memorable arrest I've had, other than the one where the police put the gun in my mouth. Like, obviously, that's a very memorable one because, unfortunately, my children seen that. And if my children didn't see that and didn't run in there, I would be dead today. I have no reason to believe otherwise. And my son saved my life that day and literally ran into the room, not scared of the police, who literally had guns in my mouth, and the rest of them had guns on me. and my son ran in the room and said, "Don't you dare shoot my dad." My kid was like fucking 6 at the time. Like, yeah, it's horrible. I'm very ashamed of my prior life and the stuff that I've put my family through. You often hear me say, I never really have many regrets in my life because my life has made me who I am today. The only regrets I have are the ones that I can't take back off my family. So, like, you know, doing 14 years fucking jail, like, I've just had my 35th birthday, and guess what? You just hit your fucking 13th, almost 14th. I've done fucking 13 years, 9 months jail my whole life, yeah? And so, yeah, at that point, I was like, yeah, there's got to be a pause button, you know? But here's the truth, right? A lot of people don't know this about my story. I lost my son. My son was basically murdered in 2006. So I say it like that because my son was overdosed, yeah, in the hospital. And the reason I use the M word is because that's exactly what it was. An unqualified nurse gave my child 10 times the amount of warfarin that he was supposed to have. Now, I don't know if you guys know what warfarin is, but it's a blood thinner, yeah? And if you are somebody who is, so my son was born with the rarest heart condition in the world, still to this day. So my son was the 16th person ever to have this condition, which is called hyperplastic left heart syndrome, yeah? My son was born with it, was beating this condition, had open heart surgery for fucking like nearly 24 hours. The first day he was born, was beating his condition, and then his life was taken by a piece of shit doctor that was actually here on a false passport from India. After my son lost his life, he fucked off back to India. It fucked my world. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to get justice for my son. And so I need you guys to understand the reason I was the way I was is because every single day of my life, as soon as they took my son off me, I was doing things that were going to kill me. Yeah. So everything I did was that extreme and that fucking dumb that I knew that if I got caught for it, I was going to get killed. Like, if the police pull up right now, I was going to definitely have a fucking SBC situation, an S word by cop. And that's why I was as evil as what I was. And that's why, sometimes, people can't understand the mind frame of what I was and why I was why I was. And that's why, because I lost my son. It fucking ruined me. It fucking turned my world upside down. And I acted like a fucking deadbeat dad. I had 2 other children at the time, and I acted like a deadbeat dad. They needed their dad, but all their dad wanted to do was go out there and run a fucking muck. And because I wanted to die, yeah, I wanted to die, but I was not too scared, too proud to do it myself, yeah. So everything I did, I was hoping that the ending would be a shootout with me ending violently. Because in my brain, I believe in fucking the Nordic fucking ways, and I believe in Valhalla and all that. As a matter of fact, my family is Norwegian. My name is Leif, for fuck's sake. Leif Erikson is one of the most famous Vikings. My grandmother's maiden name is Erikson, and we solely believe that our family comes from Viking stock, like the number one Viking. So Leif Erikson, so my name Leif, I am the 4th Leif in my family. So as rare as it's not rare, and like it's rare. It's rare for like over here in Australia and stuff like that, but any Scandinavian countries, the name Leif, which is actually pronounced Barleif, is like John, is like the name John. Most Australians, not you, are of British descent. So here's the truth, right? So I do have, so my dad's family is the Norwegian side, but my mum's family, so I am of Welsh heritage as well, which is like, so like pure Viking shit. But I believe that we believe that yeah, on both sides of our families we come from Viking stock, which is crazy because all of us boys, like all of us Hughes boys in my family, kind of lived that violent life that kind of made us all think that, like, well, it must be true, you know? Greetings from down under, my friend. I'm saying hello from Ohio, USA. We are coming to Sydney to watch the eclipse. I believe that is in 28. Awesome. Bang. Boof. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard the Chaos Train. Is that when the next eclipse is? Us English have bone to pick with Vikings, the Bloody Raiders. I mean, yeah, it's no secret. That's what the Vikings did. They actually, the exact word was a word that rhymes with grape and pillage. That's what they used to do. They used to grape and pillage. So they used to go in, maim everyone, steal everything, and fuck off. And unlike other cultures, they never flagged their land. So here's a true story. So Leif Erikson, so you can actually go, I'm pretty sure it's in Ohio actually. So there is a Leif Erikson statue in America. So Leif Erikson was actually the first person to step foot on American soil, but because Vikings never used to flag their land, they didn't care. Like, but it's documented that Leif Erikson, and there is a statue. I'm pretty sure it's in Ohio. It might be in fucking Idaho. To me, they kind of sound the same. Oh, thank you, Commodores. And respect to you, legend. It's a pain you could never talk that pain up or down, you know what I mean? Like, it's a horror. It's an absolute horror. Yeah. Minnesota. Well, there you go. Look, I'm not 100%. I thought it was Idaho or Ohio for some reason. But yeah, there is a statue there of Leif Erikson. So spelt the same way as my grandmother's maiden name. Yeah. So my grandmother's sister, Rosie, my second auntie Rosie. So her husband, believe it or not, she married a Leif as well from Norway, and so he actually owned a lot of international boats that take like shipping containers, he owned cargo ships, yeah. And so anyway, when he was about 70, he retired, sold everything he owned, and then moved to like near Ferntree Gully, Montrose, I think. And so they were very recluses, these people. So my Uncle Leif, my Auntie Rosie were recluses. They didn't really associate with any of the family. So I've got my brother who's almost 5 years older than me. My sister's 3 years older than me. And then I was the last born in my family, yeah. And then when I was born, my mum and dad named me Leif. So they're millionaires, yeah. Like they are fucking very rich. He sold off one of the biggest fucking shipping magnates in Norway at the time, and so they're fucking filthy rich, yeah. So actually, the house they live on now in Montrose is worth millions. But anyway, the day I was born, no one had seen these family members for 10, 15 years. They come to the hospital the day I was born and gave my mum and dad a sterling silver spoon that was engraved with, I can't remember the exact saying on it, but it was like as if to say I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And my father believes that I will have, from what we believe, that I will receive that money at some stage when these people are no longer with us. I never understood that until my adult life, and I was explained what it is read on. So it was so if you guys know what a horse scoop is like, so it was one of them kind of spoons. So it was one of those little spoons that has like a hook on the end, so you can put your finger through it, and it's like a little horse feed scoop, and it had engraved on it something. Yeah, and then when my Uncle Leif died, my dad said they want you to come to the funeral. So I went with my dad to the funeral, and it was a Norwegian funeral, yeah? Not one word was spoken in fucking English, and I can't speak Norwegian, but my dad, I'll tell you something that blew my mind that day. I'd never heard my dad ever speak another language before. And then they started singing hymns, like God songs, in Norwegian, and my fucking dad, I'm sitting right beside my dad, and my dad was just going, I'm going, fucking what? Like, where'd that come from? You know, like crazy. Oi, silly Billy, peace out. All right, legends, I'm just going to go to the Brasco quickly. Or you know what? Actually, hopefully this doesn't happen after this, because I told my neurologist today of my fucking overactive bladder. I don't know if you guys understand. So like a few months ago, I told you guys there'd be people in here right now that didn't know, but I put a notepad in my toilet, right? Which was a notepad that you can stick on. It's one of those ones that you put like in your kitchen, and it's got a pen with a wire attached to it. Anyway, and I would put a mark every time I went to urinate. And I swear to God, sometimes it was up to 27 times a day. So if you work that out, and like I can't even tell you guys, like it's like I wake up every 2 hours on the 2 hour to go to the toilet. And I spoke to my neurologist today, and I said, when I was in prison, they put me on this medication here. It made my mouth really dry. I'm not joking. I said, but I want to go back on that. I said, because I can't deal with this anymore. It is crazy needing to go to the toilet all the time. I am the worst person. If you're road traveling with me, I am the worst person. It's like, you know, when you're like traveling to camping or someone with someone, and there's that mate that's drinking piss the whole way, and they just need to go to the toilet every 10 minutes. That's me. Anyway, I'll be back. Pantera, Cemetery Gates words, I made it into a country song. So this is the words of Pantera's Cemetery Gates, but I made it into a country song. I'll be back. It's a conspiracy.
Crucified for no sins, an image beneath me. Lost within my plans for life, it all seems so unreal. I'm a man couldn't have in this world, left in my misery. River and he turned to me without a tear in his eyes. Nothing new for him to see. I didn't ask him why. We'll remember the love our souls has sworn to make. Now I watch the falling rain. All my mind can see now is yours. Well, I guess you took my youth and gave it all away, like the birth of a newfound joy. This love would end in raging when she died. I couldn't cry the pride within my soul. You left me incomplete all alone as the memories now unfold. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gate. Sometimes when I'm alone, I wonder aloud if you're watching over me. Someplace far abound, I must reverse my life. I can't live in the past and then set my soul free. Belong to me at last. Through all those complex years, I thought I was alone. I didn't care to look around and make this world my own. And when she died, I should have cried and spared myself some pain. You left me incomplete, all alone as a memory still remains. The way we were, the chance to save my soul, and my concern is now in vain. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gates. The way we were, the chance to save my soul, and my concern is now in vain. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery. River, is this a conspiracy? Crucified for no sins, an image beneath me. Lost within my plans for life, it all seems so unreal. I'm a man couldn't have in this world, left in my misery. River and he turned to me without a tear in his eyes. Nothing new for him to see. I didn't ask him why. We'll remember the love our souls have sworn to make. Now I watch the falling rain. All my mind can see now is yours. Well, I guess you took my youth and gave it all away, like the birth of a newfound joy. This love would end in raging pride within my soul. You left me incomplete all alone as the memories now unfold. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gate. Sometimes when I'm alone, I wonder aloud if you're watching over me. Someplace far abound, I must reverse my life. I can't live in the past. And then set my soul free, belong to me at last. Through all those complex years, I thought I was alone. I didn't care to look around and make this world my own. And when she died, I should have cried and spared myself some pain. You left me incomplete, all alone as a memory still remains. The way we were, the chance to save my soul, and my concern is now in vain. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gates. The way we were, the chance to save my soul, and my concern is now in vain. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery.
Oi, JD, if you're still here, this is the new medication I'm jumping on for my multiple sclerosis. Mavenclad. And you know what? I am so fucking happy. As you guys know, just finished saying, very, very bad fucking needle fucking phobia. So I actually thought that this, so the best thing about this medication is it's allegedly putting people into remission with MS. This is words that have never been heard with MS before, remission and MS. So, and I thought, so you only have to take this so when I take it, I have to take it twice a day for a week, and then the same time next year, twice a day for a week, and then the next year, 4 days, have to take it twice a day, and then I never have to have it again. What? This, and it's actually making people, it's reversing people's MS conditions. So, let's fucking hope. It's hard on the kidneys. Look, there's not one medication that, that's what I asked my neurologist today. I said oi, Matthew Aiken, you bloody legend. Badoosh. It's all right, legends. I'm jumping off in 15 minutes as well. I don't know what time that'll make it. About 10 past 12, maybe about 5 past 12. No, it will be 10 past, yeah. Can you email me the name of it? Yeah, oi. Chuck this down on whatever you're watching me on now. MAVENCLAD. Mavenclad. Yeah, bro, like it's supposed, and that's what I was saying. So I thought it was an injectable, and I actually bit the bullet, and I was like, all right, I could do this because I only have to do it for a week this year, a week next year, and 4 days the year after. and I never have to have it again. I was like, all right, I am coming to terms with having to do this. And then today, my neurologist said, no, this is why we picked this one for you, because we don't want you to fucking bash our nurses. Oh. Oi, Chris, you fucking legend. Butters. Both. Both. Oi, I'll tell you what. Um, but yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. Like, reading into these Epstein files has actually blown my fucking trumpet. I am not fucking kidding. And like, the deeper you dive, like, the amount of Hollywood um, actors that are all over these is fucking crazy. Oi, Gunhead, and thank you for fucking saying that you'll send the name on Discord, legend. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, the Epstein files. I don't know if you guys know, but they were what's it called? The Zorro Ranch. So they've been raiding the Zorro Ranch over the last few days, as it is believed to be a number of buried females on that, ages ranging in numbers from very young to older. Um, and yeah, this shit actually blows my mind. Like, I actually try my absolute hardest not to buy into fucking conspiracy theories and all this shit. But when it's no longer, I think, like, it's scary when you realize that all of this stuff that you thought were only in your nightmares are happening fucking all around the, like, wow. Just wow. Farmer Biff, that's me, mate. Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back, ain't much an old country boy you can't hack. Early in the rise, early in the sack, ain't got I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got picks on the riddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Woo! Ain't got I'm a country boy. Well, simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. Sorry, you triggered something. Hey, we haven't had a horse race in a while, Biff. I'll tell you what. No doubt. If I'm not live tomorrow night, I'll be live Saturday night. We always go live over the weekend. I'll tell you what. We'll smash a live. We'll smash a horse race in there. They're always funny. I actually like doing the horse races. Calder says, before you go, I wanted to say how much I heartfelt appreciate you, Leif, from another Norse named person. Your name means inheritance. Mine is spring, or, well, war my violent birdie tea at work today. Fuck yeah. Oh, oh, that's mad. Oh, that's mad. Yeah, I think that like I I really like out of all of religions and whatnot, I think really the Norse beliefs is the one that I lean towards. If is JJ on tomorrow night live because she needs to know grandma won't quit bad habit. Um, so JJ's friend who was shot's funeral is tomorrow. There is a very good chance that JJ's been watching this live. Um, but I don't think so tomorrow. Plus, generally, when like JJ goes live here with me on the weekends, is like the live when her young fella's at his dad's place. So that's not this weekend either. Can you meditate and do you use THC? I haven't meditated for a long time. I used to meditate a fair bit when I was in jail, like, um, but yeah, I use THC on the daily. So I haven't really spoke about it. I'll say this before I go. So the person who shot JJ's friend has been arrested, and yeah, we'll go through the court process, I suppose. Um, yeah. So if there's any positive to be taken out of it, I guess that um, there's not going to be this long drawn out who did it, what happened type thing. But as a lot of you people know that the the forthcoming things are going to be very very hard for everyone involved in that situation. The funeral court court is going to be fucking brutal. Yeah. Well, look, it's one of those fucking it's a jungle out there type things, and if someone didn't get him, maybe someone else would have got him. Like it's just would have been a fucking circle of fucking terror. And for all that are concerned on this side of the fence of it, I mean, yeah, I guess they're pretty beside themselves that it happened so quickly. Because, like, here's the truth: you can't think that you can shoot someone in a suburban street and literally empty out a clip. 16 fucking shots. Um, I think 7 of them went through a car trying to get another person. Um, it's just stupid. Like, and then people are like, "Oh, I've been snitched on." Well, you have been snitched on by fucking cameras, because Like as soon as one person hears one gunshot, everyone's coming outside with their phone in their hand. I mean, like if you like me, you are, and you know, every second house at least has got a camera on it. Every third car's got a camera on it. So it's be stupid to think that you could get away with something like that, like just willy nilly like that. I don't understand it. Fuck yeah. Oi, I'll tell you what, Melinda, I'll tell you something. Nothing cuts me deeper than like seeing young men cut down in their prime over something so stupid and trivial that people don't even understand because they're not from that world, you know, and um, like it's just yeah, it's fucked, and that's exactly why I do what I do, so we can stop all this shit, you know, and try and let people know that, you know, I think I've explained it on every single angle I can explain it, that the life of crime in prison is not the life you want to fucking live, you know, and like, especially when I tell all of my fucking horror stories of the reality of what prison is really like, and because I do not give a fuck, I don't care that people are going to say, like, oh, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be saying that. As long as I'm not breaking code, I do not care. But people say to me all the time, aren't you worried when you talk about corruption that the people that you are talking about in the corruption are going to fucking try and get some kind of get back at you for being corrupt, like unearthing the corruption. So here's the thing: I never say any names. I never do that. I don't do videos on anyone that's still alive. But when it comes to corruption, I really don't give a fuck because I've lost too many mates in jail. Yeah, I've lost too many mates in prison that were supposed to be going home to their family who will never ever go home. Their spirit's going to be forever in that wall, behind them walls in prison, you know, and that breaks my heart. Nothing breaks my heart more than that. And I think that, you know, already I know for a fact that I've turned people's lives around. You know, people have reached out to me off YouTube and said that, you know, they live this type of life and they don't want to do it anymore. Like, how do I stop doing this life? And I can tell you, there's not many things in my life that actually humbles me as much as that does. And it makes me fucking, I don't know, it makes everything worth it when I read one comment that says, "Bro, you changed my fucking life," you know? And the amount of young men that I've helped walk away from that life, fuck yeah, it's well worth doing. And you know, like it's well worth getting the criticism that I get for doing some of the things I do. But I mean, like I feel like some people are put on this planet to do things, and like I feel like, you know, for the fucking first 2/3 of my life, I spent. I thought I was put on this earth to do bad things, and I feel like this is the time where I correct all them bad and do good. And I can promise you, like my life has changed dramatically. Like I noticed very early on in the piece that when you start doing good, good things start happening back. And you know, and that is why I'm a very firm believer in karma and dharma, because no one could ever tell me that karma is not real. Because I can tell you right now, like yeah, karma exists, and it exists exactly the way that they say it does. You know, if you do bad, you're going to get tenfold bad back, and I can't even tell you. Like, that's the way I live my life every fucking day for 25 years. Jamie Bryant says, you and this community has helped me, and I know it's helped others, Biff. Butters. Thank you, legend. And true. And I say this all the time. Like, you guys help me all the time. Like, like today, there was no intention of going live, and I was in the premiere chatting with you legends, and I was like, yeah, I'll chuck a poll up there and see like how many people are keen on a live tonight, and it was literally 100% of people picked yes. So, yeah, you guys help me through fucking daily shit too. Like, sometimes I'm going through a lot of stuff, and sometimes I don't put it out here on for everyone to hear about, and that and there's times when I get on here and you guys bring me back to reality, and I love that. That's what I love about this community, and that's why I say it all the time. We are like I would challenge you guys to go and join any other community on YouTube, whether it be in Australia, America, fucking Brazil, Thailand, wherever. I promise you, there is not another one like this. And we've now been live for 2.5 hours on a vertical live, and probably had what, 4 minutes of trolls the whole fucking time. Means we're doing good things here, legends. That's what it means. Do you know what I mean? And I love this. That's what I love. That's what it's all about. It makes every single bit of hard work worth it. I promise you. And I'm here for you, legends, just as much as you are here for me. And never forget that. True story. All right. So for some people that don't know, right? So for where I done my prison time, the word champ is a very offensive word, yeah? I don't take offense to it. I don't take offense to it because the majority of people have no fucking idea what the fucking word means in that world, So I don't take offense to it. I just know that sometimes you might say that and your comment might get hidden just because my moderators know that, like, that's not a good word, yeah? But just know that if anyone has called me champ and they don't mean it in the fucking term it's like I hate, I don't fucking care. Do you know what I mean? I have many times been a champion of many things. So I don't mind it at all. As a matter of fact, one of my uncles still calls me champ every time he sees me. I used to hate it when I was like fucking 18, 20. I'd be like, motherfucker, stop calling me champ. And yeah, now I just don't care. I really don't care. But yeah, all right, legends. I am going to jump off, you absolute legends. Oi, Jugsy, you bloody legend. You've joined and I'm just about to jump off. We've been going for 2.5 hours. But, yeah, another awesome live legends. And, yeah, if I'm not live tomorrow, I'll be live on Saturday. We'll see what happens. What else? Tuesday is the Reckoning Day. Wednesday is the new start day. I've got the fucking all clear from my doctor. I can travel. I can do this. I can do that. They were actually like talking about fucking taking my license off me because of my medical condition, and I was like, oh fucking hell no, you will not be doing that. And yeah, because I am epileptic as well, but I haven't had a seizure for fucking almost 2 years now, so. But all right, legends, fucking good night. Another fucking absolute cracking live, absolute bunch of legends. Oi, Wizard from Oz. Next time you join Duroc's Creeps fucking live, can you let him know that I have sent him a friend request on the Instagram I said I would, the Platinum Outlaw Bullies one. And yeah, that way we can have a chat and we can fucking organise our podcast, because it's so hard. Like, you know, generally, like, say for instance, like tonight, I've been at the hospital all day. I literally got home at 6 o'clock and I started fucking making videos so I could get a video out for tonight. And then next thing you know, I'm live again and fucking, yeah. But all right, everyone, we are fucking out of here. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. And I don't know, maybe fucking, yeah, you just don't want to end up in prison. I mean, it's not a good place. People hide things up their bum there. That should be enough to say it's not where you want to be. You know what I mean? It's not an everyday thing where someone goes, right, where am I going to put this vape? Sunk. Hidden. It's hidden. It's gone now. All right, legends, we're out. Don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison, and we're out.